I'm Doug Brown. We've got a Game 6 NBA playoff doubleheader on ESPN tonight, starting with the Celtics and 76ers. Philadelphia leads the series 3-2 for Coach Doc Rivers.
You can't be surprised also, and I tell my guys, with how hard the other teams are going to play. Like, you just can't be. Desperation is an amazing thing, right? And so you got to really play through that through execution and focus.
You can hear more of that Doc Rivers interview during our NBA on ESPN Radio coverage, which starts at 7 Eastern. The second game tonight, also on ESPN TV, Nuggets and Suns, with Denver leading the series 3-2. The full 2023 NFL schedule will be unveiled tonight, but already we know the new season will kick off Thursday night, September 7th, when the Super Bowl champion Chiefs host the Lions. 4 days later on Monday Night Football, New Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers makes his debut at home against the Bills. And our Field Yates reports the Seahawks restructure wideout Tyler Lockett's contract to give the team $5.7 million in cap space.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on a Thursday afternoon. Big night tonight in the NFL. The full schedule released tonight at 8 o'clock. But we're already getting the little leaks around the league. We're finding out who's going to play where. And your first Monday Night Football game. Oh, wait. Do it.
Wait. Monday Night Football.
The first one of the year going to be in New Jersey.
We now know who the first victim of the 2024 Super Bowl champion New York Jets.
God.
Oh, you're going to hear that a lot more before it's all said and done.
And
that
he called
good.
me insufferable.
That felt good.
He hasn't even won anything yet.
Oh, it's coming. There's a possibility that I will have the reigning, defending Super Bowl and NBA champions at the same time. Let's go. It's the year of Jeremy, boys and girls. It's the year of Jeremy. Let's go. I've had enough caffeine to probably kill an elk today. So
he's a little hyped up today, finding out that his Jets are going to play the Bills on the first Monday Night Football game of the season. The opener of the year, the Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Thursday Night Football. That's your opener for the season. And frankly, that should be a beatdown from hell.
Oh, especially with no receivers.
Exactly.
Jared Goff's just going to look around and go, I'm in danger. This is bad. They just gave them rings, and they're going to beat my brains out before this game's over.
Yeah. Having the Lions play on primetime games early in the season, it doesn't really do a whole lot for you when you realize that, Jameson Williams isn't going to be there for the first 6 games. So they've got that opener on Thursday Night Football. They also play in Week 4 against the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football.
I really had Sports Status, fellow Nuggets fan, has already said that he's gritting out all of these leaks. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I did that the first year we did this. Virtually none of it came to pass. If it hasn't come from the NFL, you take that with a grain of salt.
Right.
Because it doesn't mean much.
It could change. However, there have been a couple of teams that have basically had their full schedules already released.
If Green Bay
by
gets...
the teams themselves, like the Minnesota Vikings, just put out their schedule on social media. They put out the full graphic. Yeah, hey, here's all our games.
Yeah, somebody's getting fired. That's some low-level, 24-year-old social media content creator that's now on Indeed.com looking for a new job.
Now, Minnesota has 5 primetime games.
I'm okay with Minnesota getting 5.
That's not bad. That's
Green
not bad.
Bay getting 5.
Green Bay apparently has 5, and you're going to have to do some splaining to me on that one.
Yeah, I don't think and 3 of them are in a row, aren't they?
Without Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. From weeks 12 to 14. I mean, the Thanksgiving Day game in week 12 is a 1 o'clock game, but I still consider that a quote-unquote primetime game. Just
You're
like
the only
you
game on that's my rule for primetime. Are you the only game I can physically watch?
Exactly.
Primetime.
Exactly. So, yeah, week 12 they're on the Thanksgiving Day game against the Lions.
I will say, take that Packers schedule with a grain of salt.
And then week 13, Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs, which is going to be so much fun.
Common Sense said, Jeremy, you're okay with Kirk Cousins in 5 primetime games? Yes, and let me tell you why. Because that is 5 guaranteed losses.
And week 14, Green Bay at the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. So they go Thursday, Sunday night, Monday night, 3 weeks in a row, when their season should be over. If this team is as bad as we think they're going to be on offense, their season should be over by week 12. Why do we get 3 primetime games in a row?
I just feel like Green Bay's offense is going to be a lot like watching you try to send a text message.
Very difficult.
It's very clunky.
Yep.
It's not going the way it's supposed to. There's a lot of questions. Way too many buttons are pushed.
Yeah, a whole lot of waiting around to find out what the point of this is going to be. You get those 3 little dots across the screen. This is there for like 35 minutes, and then Tank sends back K. The schedule leaks, though. We do know that the opening week, or what we're being led to believe, the opening week, again, will start with the Lions and the Chiefs on Thursday night. Sunday Night Football that week will be the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. The Carolina Panthers are going to be it's not a primetime game, but they'll be on the road against the Atlanta Falcons in week 1. And then you got the Philadelphia Eagles opening up the season in Foxborough against the New England Patriots.
Oh, boy.
In a game where before they start, apparently they're going to do like
10 points.
They're going to do like a ginormous Tom Brady ceremony.
Sweet.
And then they will get road stomped.
That
the
will be the highlight
Eagles.
of that day.
Right.
Yay, we celebrated Tom! And then nobody scored.
Right.
At least not wearing our uniform.
Right. The schedule release is always fun, just to see where the matchups will take you. At the moment, it looks like the primetime schedule, we're going to get some grumpers, as we always do.
Always.
I'm staring down the close of Thanksgiving week. That week 12, Monday Night Football, you got the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. It's like finishing your Thanksgiving dinner with aspic.
With what? Did you just say a falafel?
GTS.
I don't know what that
it's one of the It's a jelly meat stock that's got bits of meat floating in it. It's like a Jell-O mold made out of beef.
That sounds
stock.
horrendous.
Oh, it's terrible.
That sounds just horrendous.
And it looks even worse. Well, that's what I mean. You're closing out the Thanksgiving feast with just grossness.
Yeah. But look, a lot of people will say you put too much stock into the schedule release. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, tomorrow is going to be a lot of rapid reaction to the schedule. And I feel like Monday or tomorrow, either way, is a good day for us to play the game that we like to play every year, which is we go through the schedule, first glance, don't think about it, go through all the games, where does it end? And if you say, well, that doesn't really mean anything, we both had Philadelphia as the 1 seed in the NFC last year. I don't feel like anybody else had talked about that before us. Now, we missed some stuff. You were a little higher on the Denver Broncos. Me, pretty accurate. Just throwing that out there. You're welcome. And I think tomorrow's a grand day to do that.
Absolutely. It's tradition.
It's a tradition like none other. I can't say it the other way because they have like trademark.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to get sued.
Yeah, it's okay, just you know what I mean.
We definitely don't want to get sued. New York Jets, though, opening up the season against the Buffalo Bills. It's time to pay this thing off.
Beyond a shadow of doubt, I'm here for it.
Of course you.
Monday Night Football, we get my New York Jets. Asheville Police Chief David Zach's Buffalo Bills. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Jets on Sunday Night Football on week 4 of the season. I'll be shocked if the Jets don't have 7 primetime games.
Well, you can't have 7. 6 is the max.
Well, 6, whatever. Whatever the max is, I will not be surprised to see the New York Jets with 6.
No, I'm sure they will. Because it's entertaining. Because you have an opinion on it one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that the NFL has basically piddled on the NBA's biggest day. Oh, Christmas Day? Is that what you do, Adam Silver? Watch this. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders. Merry Christmas!
And primetime game to come. It's a
yeah,
triple header this year.
Yeah, and there's another one that we already know. I can't remember what the other one is.
No, there's 2. There's 3 on Christmas. 2 of them we know.
I can't remember what the other one we know is.
Oh,
I know Raiders Chiefs.
It's Giants and the Eagles.
Giants Eagles. There we go.
Yeah.
2 division games. Boom.
Giants
NBA. Hey, enjoy that 1-4.
What's being released right now is the Las Vegas Kansas City game is the 1:00 game, which I thought was weird.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, usually the East Coast team would be in the 1:00 slate, and then you would have the Midwest team would be in the 4:00 slate. But
fine.
I'm not saying anything against it. I just
You
think
get done,
it's weird.
You have a little Christmas ham. You open your presents. Old jolly old Saint Nick shows up. And then you tell the family, hey, I'm going to need y'all to be out of here by 12:45.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to eat dinner at 10:15. How's that sound?
You can count out Christmas with Jeremy at all this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Christmas Eve, the New York Jets will be facing the Washington Commanders.
Let's go.
Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are both Sundays, by the way, so everybody's going to be playing,
which is awesome,
on those days.
It's going to be the greatest year ever. I can't wait.
You better hope it pays off. You better hope it pays off.
Can I tell you a secret? And I'm saying this solely because in the comments we're getting a lot of this. I don't care. I can't emphasize this to you enough. I do not care if this team goes 8-9. I don't.
Really?
This is the first time I've had legit hope on May 11th since I think I had to lie about what year I was born to buy beer. So I don't care. You've given me a reason to be excited, and guess what? I am.
Mm-hmm.
Jet season tickets up 400%. Yeah, I'm good with all that. I am good with all of that.
Even if it ends up you finish 8-9,
that would be the jettiest thing ever.
Absolutely, it would
just be the jettiest thing ever. I would go, hey, it's a Christmas expectation.
Right.
Yeah, there's no miracle here.
We haven't seen a more keister-pained fan base than the New York Jets would be since, well, this past season's North Carolina Tar Heels basketball team.
Oh, look at that. You can get him at Sports Tank ESPN, no big deal.
Tar Heels fan, just speaking facts.
We have 2 of these already, and this is the return of Threadbare Thursday. So in our YouTube comments, you can throw out super chats, comments, anything like that of the topics that you would like us to talk about today, or I will break down the backcourt matchup of the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns tonight.
I'm your huckleberry.
From Matt Hoffman, he asked, how much are you putting on the futures bet for the Jets? Okay, so I'm going to answer that 2 ways. The first one is, what are you, a cop? And the second one is, take whatever you think it is and multiply that by 3.2 times, because that's probably what it actually is.
Nice.
So there's that.
I'm your huckleberry.
And
wait, before you move on, I have to ask, does your new wife know about this?
yes,
Okay, all right.
Amy and I have we have a mutual understanding with the way wagers go. I always have money, and she doesn't ask why.
Ah,
So That may not be the healthiest way to do it, but she's always said as long as that doesn't become a problem, then we're fine.
Okay.
Cousin Colin Greene, if Dennis Allen loses week 2 to Bryce Young, fire him. That is a very quick trigger. Don't think that's going to happen.
No.
But it could. And it is Threadbare Thursday, so get your topics that you would like us to talk about. There's a reason they call us the Sportsocracies, because we're here to entertain you.
But playing off of that, you really think that's you say that's possible? Is the leash that short?
No.
Okay.
No. That's an interesting question though. Who has the shortest leash in the NFL? I mean, every year there's a coach that's on the hot seat. I don't feel like there are a ton going into this year.
None that I can foresee losing their jobs early, like mid-season, like early season, like Matt Rule did last year. Is there one?
Yes.
Who?
And I actually see more than one. And we'll talk about that after the break.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
May 14th is Mother's Day. Be sure to spread the love with flowers from Stargazers Designs. Visit us online at stargazersfloraldesigns.com or call us now to get your order in early at 828-254-3621. Stargazers Floral Designs.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
This is the Sportsocracy, and you're listening on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hot seat talk. Didn't expect to be here today, but hey, here we are on a Threadbare Thursday.
That's what Threadbare Thursday does.
That's right. Colin Greene, not related to Flostradamus, in the YouTube chat.
That's why we call him not Cousin Colin.
Said, if Dennis Allen loses week 2 to Bryce, fire him. Now, I can understand that coming from fans. And then you said there's a possibility of it.
That early, no. To week 2, no.
Going into this season, I don't see a single coach that I could forecast being gone. I want to say mid-season, but I would say by week 8.
I could see one being gone by week 5.
Really?
If it starts the wrong way. And a couple people in the chat have already beaten me to it. It's Brandon Staley, and it's not close. Chargers come out and start 1-4. Bye, Felicia. Because we got your replacement on the staff.
We got Kellen Moore.
When I saw that question, that was the first name I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie, that's something I'm going to be looking for tonight, is how does it start for the Chargers? Do you get Pat early in Kansas City? Do you get or does it go the other way and you get a couple layups early? I mean, because he starts hot, then, yeah, that buys you the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say if I was doing a hottest seat in the NFL, it's Brandon Staley, and I don't know that it's all that close.
Really?
And the terrifying thing for me, if I were him, there are not many layups on that schedule. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at it, but obviously they play the teams in the division, so you go home and home with them. They play the AFC East, which means they get the Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. That could be 3 losses. Could be 4 losses because New England's always going to be annoying.
Right.
They play the NFC North, so Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. The only rumor so far on their schedule is the week 3 game against Minnesota, since Minnesota released their entire schedule today, apparently.
And then you get Baltimore, Dallas, and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
There are not many layups there. And 3 of your 4 easiest games are on the road. So, I mean, that's a team I'm going to be staring directly at. What does this look like early? How many Pro Bowl quarterbacks does Justin Herbert have to play early?
Right.
Because, I mean, people seem to forget that defense was Gnarls Barkley last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you catch a couple of these teams, let's say even the Raiders, who I don't have a super high expectation of, they run the ball really well. You catch them early, or the Jets, who are going to have 2, maybe 3 good running backs in that backfield. You catch them early, you start 1-3. Would I be shocked if you catch the early bye? Let's say they get that week 5 bye, which I think is just absolutely moronic that we do.
Right.
I'd be shocked if they pulled the plug on Brandon Staley. Nope. Especially if it's the defense that lets them down. I have your ready-made replacement on this staff.
Okay.
And I thought that when they hired Kellen Moore, yes, this is definitely to bring along Justin Herbert. It's also a really convenient way to flex if this starts not your way.
It is. I can't really foresee that happening. Is there a path? Absolutely, there's a path to them getting just a hammer schedule to start out and not performing.
Well, I mean, we already know they're going to have one of the top 5 toughest schedules in the NFL.
Right. I guess I just hadn't thought about how badly it could go for Brandon Staley. But maybe so. Other than that, who?
Dennis Allen, I believe, is an obvious one. This is the most attainable division in the NFL. So if you come out and start slow, he's another one.
But the question
is, the early bye.
Turn it over to?
If it goes that badly, I'm not sure I care.
You turn it over to
there's somebody.
Pete Carmichael? Go God.
Ew.
I'm not doing that. I'm not giving this team to Pete Carmichael for even 6 weeks.
Every NFL team has a coach they could turn it over to if they needed to.
I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure that New Orleans
Doug Marrone, end of message, repeat the line.
Oh, is he on the New Orleans staff?
Yeah, offensive line coach.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Dennis, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
I don't know. I think I might rather have Pete Carmichael take over this team rather than Doug Marrone.
Doug Marrone was reasonably successful. He's also aged about 50 years. Doug Marrone with the New Orleans Saints looks like Jacksonville Jaguars Doug Marrone's dad. don't really know how that happened because I feel like that wasn't that long ago.
Also mentioned in the chat was Todd Bowles. There's no shot of that.
Well, the thing, and look, the problem with Tampa Bay is that you're a dysfunctional franchise. He shouldn't be the coach right now.
Mm-hmm.
So do I think there is a path? Yeah, but I don't think you're intending to be good.
No.
I mean, I really don't.
There's not. I don't think I've seen a prognosticator out there yet that has us finishing outside picking in the top 5 next year.
It's hard to find a way that you do.
Right.
I mean, look, this is a time in the NFL where we're in a scenario. There are not many teams that don't have hope. Now, you look down the 32 teams in this league, the vast majority of them either have the guy, a guy that we don't know if they're the guy, but they've invested heavy capital in, or rookie. This is an odd time for that. There's only a handful of teams that have Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jordan Love. There are people in the Green Bay front office that, he'll be just fine. We get that extra pick from the Jets. We'll put some more talent around him, and he'll be hunky-dunky. I don't see it that way. You don't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting one. Somebody in the YouTube chat said Mike LaFleur.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to lie, the more I've thought about it.
That was Jonathan Welch, and I love you, Jonathan, but I really don't see it. In the first year of Jordan Love, anything that happens this year is going to come to blow back on Matt LaFleur.
Who's the offensive guy? All right, you couldn't win anything with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
You come out and start 1-5, it's going to get loud, and it will get loud in a hurry. Especially if somehow this random schedule is accurate. They're going to be on television 5 times late in the season. That has, if that is true, that has flex schedule written all over it.
Yeah, 2 of those primetime, 5 primetime games come in the first 4 weeks of the season,
and that's not good for him either.
Or 5 weeks of the season. Week 4.
If you're Green Bay, you want to hide yourself in that 4:25 window as much as you can until you get this figured out.
Week 4, they'll be on Thursday Night Football against the Lions, as I said earlier, and then week 5 week 6 is Monday Night Football at the Raiders.
Devontae Adams.
It's the Devontae Adams revenge game.
Yeah, you catch a lot of those narratives that. I think it's funny that the NFL outthinks itself in this. Well, when you do the schedule, just moving forward, give us a game with 2 competitive teams on Thursday Night Football.
But that's
all we ask.
Right. But this was the thing. Like, some of these, or at least this matchup especially, I look at it and go, now you selected that last year, and you just left it in place.
No.
Because this would have been Devontae Adams against Aaron Rodgers. That would have been primetime worthy.
But it's still
narrative.
Devontae Adams against the Packers.
Yeah, but
that's still a narrative.
It's still a narrative, but it's not a good one.
I don't necessarily agree with you. I don't necessarily think it'll be a great game, but it would be. I mean, it's a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the highest end players in the league that's moved in the last 5 years. Going take on his old team. I mean, I understand why you would do that. Now again, I'm going to tell you this for about the 4th time. I don't believe anything I've seen off that Packers schedule, and I've had 2 people tell me not to, that are real good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Every year we lose our minds about – I remember last year, the Jets were the team last year. Oh, the whole schedule leaked online. You know how many of those games were accurate? 0.
Yep.
Might have been the day before, but I can tell you when the schedule came out, none of them were right.
There are quite a handful of coaches in the NFL that are on short leashes, but I think they're all – season-long leashes.
Mike McCarthy.
I don't see them getting rid of him.
3 and 4, you go into the bye week, Dan Quinn's the head coach.
Think so?
Yes. Because every one of these teams have aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
They're going in thinking we're division winners. They also all 3 have guys on the staff that have either been head coaches or are really hot head coaching candidates. I'd say the same thing about Josh McDaniels. They don't have the high-end aspirations because I see them – it starts just really clunky.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull the ripcord and turn it over to Patrick Graham, see if he can spark the rally. Wouldn't shock me. We have 2 or 3 teams do this every single year.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that screams at me the most is Brandon Staley with the Chargers.
Okay.
That's too good of a team. And and ownership and the fans are not really going to care about, well, we lost to Pat Mahomes. Don't care. Don't care. This is a year that's Super Bowl or bust for the Chargers. So you start slowly, and heads will roll.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend, with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Make your summer getaway to a new bed. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on top brands, with Queen starting at just $179.99. Plus, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
Breathe easier in your home with Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning. It's the only company I trust to get my home insanely clean. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Live life to the fullest. You hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain. QC Kinetics is in the business of giving people back their quality of life, providing relief for chronic joint pain in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. Painful knees, hips, shoulders, or back? QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. And best of all, you walk into the office and walk right out after treatment. No surgery, no downtime, and patients are raving about the results. Finally, being able to play golf, hike, walk your dog, enjoy time with your family. Don't wait one more day. Get started today with a call to QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 823-333-9517. That's 822-333-9517. In Asheville and Greenville, that's 822-333-9517. 822-333-9517.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It is, again, a Thursday afternoon, a Threadbare Thursday, and you can get your topic suggestions in the YouTube chat. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. That's the way you get into the chat, and you can recommend a topic.
That was a much further run down the hall than I thought it was.
It's time to get just a bit outside, and Jeremy, I know you're not. You're strictly a fan of the domestic lights when it comes to beer. Not saying you won't drink other beers.
That's not 100% true.
You won't. I'm not saying you won't drink other beers, or you won't drink sours or whatever.
No, my favorite beer is the next one. That's it's, not to outshine a free one or one that was brought to me.
But your go-to is the domestic light.
Correct.
Does not really matter what brand, as long as it has light in the title. He thinks he's on the diet. See, he's watching the figure.
You got to watch your figure.
Trying to cut the carbs down. But in IPAs, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the IPAs. I like the hoppy flavor of the IPAs, and I really am interested to see what 23 years of bitterness tastes like.
I mean, I can tell you what 36 years of it sounds like.
Old Ox Brewery in the D.C. metro area is commemorating the joyous occasion of no more Dan Snyder as the owner of the Washington Commanders. And to mark the occasion, they brewed a special IPA. It has old Major Tuddy, the pig, on the front of the beer label, the new mascot of the Washington Commies.
Is that the one that looks like the genetically altered pig from Family Guy
Oink.
that has a fist from Oink?
Yeah. He is on it. It's called By Dan, just BYEDAN, India Pale Ale, and says on the can, tastes like 23 years of bitterness. It's apparently the most bitter beer that they have ever brewed at Ox Brewing, and they released it. 350 cases were all they had to start out. It sold out in 1 hour and 15 minutes. They are, of course, now making a brand new batch of the By Dan IPA. But see, I bring this to you because this is what good businesses do. Good businesses find a way to market their product unlike any other. And here we go. We sell out 350 cases in an hour and 15 minutes, and now we're probably going to sell even more than that when it comes back out. But I do love the catchphrase, tastes like 23 years of bitterness.
I just wish the tagline was Oink. Did you see the movie Super Troopers?
Yes.
Did you see the sequel?
I did not.
I will save you the time. It was awful.
Thank you.
Because we live in a time where people get offended by anything that's funny.
Wait, are you telling me that the Broken Lizards went woke?
I'm not going to say that necessarily. It was much safer.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a report that there is a Super Troopers 3 in the works. And then you might be thinking, this is not weird, and this is not crimes, and this does not sound like a sports story. Oh, but wait, it is, because someone in the sports world has confirmed that they have been offered a role in this movie, and they are open to it. Who is quite, of all, and I'll narrow this down.
Okay.
It's an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the guys that you could put in this movie, this guy's certainly not my top 10, and I like him a lot.
Okay, so it's not Aaron Rodgers.
Nope. Aaron Rodgers would be great.
Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers is the burnout guy they pull over on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And just the Cheech and Chong smoke comes out of his car, and he's like, hey, what's good? And he just drives off looking like Nick Cage. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's Josh Allen.
Okay.
Okay. You had a much different response to that than I did.
I don't know. I mean, the only real times I've ever seen Josh Allen in the, this is going to sound weird, but the human form, when he's not in uniform or at a press conference with the team or whatever. Was in the match. And he was hilarious.
I agree.
He was very funny. He was very quick-witted. I liked the banter that he had when he was playing with Patrick Mahomes or against Patrick Mahomes. I don't remember. Anyway, it's beside the point. I thought he was good in that. I thought I could see the humor. So maybe with the right script, I don't know how his acting chops would be, but...
Well, we had a bunch of guesses in the YouTube comments. Patrick Holt said Brett Favre. He would steal the show because he seems to like to steal everything else. Oh,
good
let's go. Settle the lawsuit with Pat McAfee. So now we can make them laugh, because you learned there's no recourse because you did it.
Yeah.
Just saying. I don't know how I feel about this. I wish more active celebrities would do things like this. Now, I will say, after seeing Super
What do you
Troopers
mean, like sports stars being in movies?
Yes.
More cameos.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, not LeBron James. I don't need Space Jam. That's dead. Please don't ever do that again. I didn't even watch it, and I don't care to watch it.
It was awful.
Don't need to.
Don't need to.
Don't need to. Okay? We're good. But there are certain guys that I think would be really good in a role like this. Aaron Rodgers, who we already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now he might
But
be
that would only be funny because we know he's a drug user.
That's not true. Okay? He just has some alternative, holistic ideas.
Okay. I mean, he uses drugs to free his mind, quote unquote.
But they're not drugs.
Feel
They're
like
not
this-
drugs. It's herb. It's herb. Okay.
So is marijuana, but it's also a drug.
Well, okay. You talk to your politicians about that, not me. Okay.
I'm just saying, the guy who does peyote out in the desert with Miles Turner, or not Miles Turner. That's a basketball player.
Yeah,
Miles Teller.
I was about
That's
to
who I was
say,
looking for.
you really like saying this was Miles Turner.
It's Miles Teller. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, we know he's a drug user. Anyway, who else? Who else would you like to see it? Like
Kelsey Brothers. Bob Brown said that YouTube comments beat me to it.
Okay.
All the way in. Have a Step
see
Brothers type movie with Jason and Travis Kelce. Let's go.
No, I'm out. You're not giving them the starring role. They could play bit roles in a movie.
I don't know. I watch their podcast a lot, and it's really, really funny.
Yeah.
It's really
just because you're funny. Okay, I think we've learned this over time. Just because you're funny, and you could be a comedian, you could be great at stand-up comedy, doesn't mean you're going to be a good actor. Doesn't mean you're going to do funny movies or TV shows or whatever. Did anybody ever watch the Rodney Carrington show? That was terrible.
Yeah, I actually did watch that. I love Rodney Carrington.
Yeah. It was a terrible show.
A Soaring Eagle said, Russell Wilson, let's ride!
Jeff Foxworthy had a show that
Jeff Foxworthy's show was
great.
good.
No,
The Jeff Foxworthy show was good.
Bill Engvall had one. I think Larry Cable guy had. I think all of the blue collar guys had one except for Ron White, and he couldn't stay sober long enough to do a full season.
He's got 100% sober now.
I know he is, and I'm
Which is
proud. I'm
wild.
proud of him.
Not necessarily the word I would have used.
Look. I think even Ron White has drank way more than you have in your life.
Well, I mean, he's
and
35 years old.
Right, but what I'm saying is, at some point you get to you go, okay, I think we're done now. I think we need to stop.
And all I'm saying is that if you're waiting on me to reach that plateau, I wouldn't hold my breath.
Well, I mean, Ron didn't think he was going to live this long either.
Oh, no, if I live that long, I'm going to look like Cloris Leachman by the time I get to that age.
I'm just saying, just because you're funny in person, doesn't mean you're going to be great on screen.
I get it.
So we're not going to give the Kelce brothers their own feature film. We give them a good short of some sort, a bit part.
I'm a little disturbed that we're making a third Super Troopers, though. The second one was disrespectful. So,
the only movie I ever saw the Broken Lizard Company do that was funny was Super Troopers. The rest of them, all terrible. Like that Club Dread movie where they were off on some tropical island.
Never saw it.
Awful. Terrible. Every one of them has been terrible.
Never saw it, wouldn't want to.
No. So I don't understand Super Troopers 2, much less Super Troopers 3. Starting to become like Sharknado at this point.
Oh, Chris Diaz's point, Beer Fest was good. That was one of theirs, too.
Okay, I take that back. Beer Fest was good.
That made me want to start the U.S. beer drinking.
Of course it did. Mr. Das Boot Anchor over here.
American flag bandana, the last leg of the relay. Let's go.
Yeah, Beer Fest.
You talk
wasn't
about
bad.
the sport that Jeremy was born to play. Found it.
I mean, they're all bad. It was just funny. Anyway, yeah, Josh Allen, I could deal with that. He's one that I could see hosting Saturday Night Live or something like that at some point.
I guess I could. It caught me off guard when I saw NFL star could have role in Super Troopers. Wait, what?
It's just opening up the new door. That's all that is.
There's a lot of people in the YouTube chat saying who they'd like to see in feature films. Lisa Evans-Hill, big fan of the Bosa brothers.
Okay.
Bill Buttigieg, not so much. He said Nick Bosa has the personality of a ceiling fan.
Interesting.
And again, some people would say the same thing about me. It's okay. If you don't like this personality, just wait. There's another one coming.
There's another one coming around the corner. Just give me a little bit to drink.
It is what it is.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. It is a Threadbare Thursday. Get into the YouTube chat, and we will take your suggestions for what to talk about. John Carmen wanted to know how many primetime games so far in the schedule leaks for the Chicago Bears. We're up to 2 that we know of.
And I would say they probably get to about 3.
Possibly.
See, now teams don't have to have one, which is that's one of those schedule things that always drove me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's Major League Baseball with the All-Star game. Oh, we have to have a member of every team. No, that's stupid. Because the Oakland A's are a AA baseball team. I do not need to see the best of that ragtag group of losers in your All-Star game.
So far, we have Week 5 on Thursday Night Football. Chicago will be in Washington to take on the Commanders.
No, we already did that once.
Yep.
It was terrible.
And then that grumper to end Thanksgiving week that I told you about on Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota.
I don't actually think that's as bad as you do.
I do. I mean, I don't think it's going to be worth watching because I don't feel like either of those teams. They might be they probably will be in some position of the hunt for the division. But I mean, is this number 1 and number 2 in the division to see who takes the lead? Could be. I feel like Detroit's going to be at the top of that division, and we'll see. That'll be 6 weeks after Jameson Williams comes back. And
I think I believe that division's way closer than you do.
That's
6 games of not having really a legitimate receiver other than Amon St. Brown. That's another team. Detroit's a team that you get the schedule tonight and you go, oh, this could change. This could change the entire season for you. You catch 4, and I'm looking up their opponents on the schedule. You catch these in the right order, and things could be hunky-dunky. They play 7 playoff teams from last year. So you get the 2 with Minnesota. They play Kansas City, Chargers, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of those teams is good except Tampa. I don't necessarily think that's going to be all that promising this year. But you catch a few of those early when you don't have Jameson Williams, that could make this division competitive until the waning weeks of the season.
It absolutely could be.
Ugh. The more I look at their schedule, the more it's gross.
Dov Kleeman just released the Giants' full schedule, apparently, according to Tim Raymond.
I like Dov, but you should be really careful believing anything he says.
And
he's one of those that says,
schedule got leaked way earlier today.
Yes. He's just sharing it.
Yes.
That's the problem with Dov. Yeah, he shares a lot of things. Sometimes they're true.
By the way, 5 primetime games for the Giants as well.
And that's why I'm telling you, you got to be careful with how much of this you believe. Because now, so we've, to my knowledge, we've seen the full schedule of 6 teams. The fewest primetime games I've seen for any of them is 3. We don't have that many, and none of these teams are all that good that I've seen the schedule of. I haven't seen the Jets. I haven't seen the Bills. The full on the Chiefs, the Bengals. Right. Every one of these teams is playing 5 or 6 primetime games.
You would think.
So, to me, this is just one of those days where people start going, hey, maybe I'm right about a couple of these, and I'm going to tweet it. And then somebody will pick it up, and they'll talk about me. Because that's what I need in my life, to be talked about.
Well, everybody needs to be talked about, I guess. So that is the way of the world, right?
Especially Anthony Davis. We're going to talk about him at the start of the next hour. We don't often give leading segments to NBA things. That one's going to catch one, and I'm going to be real not nice.
Oh, yeah. The Los Angeles Lakers losing to the Golden State Warriors last night, and now it goes back to L.A. Series at 3-2. Anthony Davis reportedly will be able to play in that game after getting hit in the head last night midway through the fourth quarter.
Him's got a boo-boo, and he needed a wheelchair to get him back to the locker room.
Right. Also, the Knicks winning last night to survive. Stay alive against the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
You think it turned?
I kind of do.
Really?
I kind of do.
Uh-oh.
And I saw it coming. When I picked that game yesterday, I said the Quentin Grimes thing changes things, and then he played every second of last night. And Jimmy Butler wasn't good.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up next is Jeremy's Bangers of the Night. 2 more in the NBA.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Spring fire season is here, and you are the best defense against wildfires. Make sure to have a water hose, bucket, steel rake, and a shovel for tossing dirt on the fire. Keep your phone with you in case you need help, and never leave a fire unattended. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, this is Super Bowl champion Brad Johnson, inviting you to join me for the Wicked Weed Brad Johnson Golf Classic, June 13th at the Cliffs at Walnut Cove. This tournament is Evelyn Charity's largest annual fundraiser of the year, and we need your support more than ever. I look forward to seeing you for a great day of golf.
For more information about playing or a sponsorship, go to eblencharities.org, EBLEN charities.org. And we'll see you at beautiful Walnut Cove on June 13th.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The coffee store closes on.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
What can I say? When you're hot, you're hot. 8-3 overall in the last 2 days. I feel like these playoffs have gotten pretty easy to predict, but I have to remember the old adage. Hubris comes shortly before the fall. Tonight's a little more difficult, but I'll try to wade the waters to make it another winning night. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Philadelphia 76ers are a 2.5-point dog at home tonight against the Boston Celtics. Over-under 212.5. The Celtics have become like the great legend of the Sasquatch. I see it from time to time. It's usually fleeting on a grainy video, and it's not nearly as impressive as people tell me it is. Now, they face elimination in a Game 6 against the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm not so sure this team can pull it off. Pundits all over mainstream media have spent the last 2 days telling you that there is nothing to see here and that the Celtics will still find a way to pull this off. Well, I don't see it. Yes, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are special players, but the Sixers have really seemed to figure out the secret sauce to beating this team in the last two. This has been a weird series where the home team's only 2-3 straight up, and both of these teams are good at home. What I've noticed in the last two is how much better the Sixers seem to be when the starters are on the floor. Game 4, Tobias Harris had a plus-minus of plus 14, and in Game 5, every Sixers starter was plus double figures. This means a lot to Doc Rivers, the Sixers players, and the city of Philadelphia on the whole. So I'm looking for the Wells Fargo Center to be loud and electric. Tonight's the night. Give me the Sixers plus 2.5. They win outright and over the 212.5 in a game that comes down to the wire. Finally, the Denver Nuggets are a 3-point dog in Phoenix, over under 226. This is not a drill. We are one win away from being halfway home to my self-fulfilling prophecy of the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. In all seriousness, this team is insanely fun to watch, and they're absolutely electric offensively. In Game 5, they crushed the spirit of the Suns early, and minus a little run before the half, the game was never in doubt. Now, Kevin Durant has been him in elimination games in his career, averaging over 30.5 points per game in these situations. But here's the problem. I don't care. I told you before Game 5 that Devin Booker was eventually going to cool off shooting the basketball. He did, but still managed to shoot almost 50%, go for 28, and the Suns still got smoked. Now, there are 3 constants in this life: death, taxes, and the Nuggets being clunky on the road. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but for whatever reason, Denver just looks like a different team away from Ball Arena. Tonight, I think they finally climbed that hill. Phoenix is so thin. This is a terrible matchup for them, and the Cameron Payne thing was cute while it lasted, but that's done. Give me the Nuggets plus the 3. They win outright and send the fighting Kevin Durant's home and continue their trek to the NBA Finals. Oh, yeah, and give me the over. I said from the beginning that I was taking the over in every game of this series, and it's won more than it's lost, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend, with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Doug Brown. The 76ers and Nuggets can both advance to the NBA's conference finals with wins tonight. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV for the Sixers and Celtics. And our Tim Bontemps thinks Philadelphia could win the title if they could win this series.
They're going to end up with either the Heat or the Knicks in the conference finals. And no matter who you like in the West, they're going to have a far more difficult, in theory, conference finals matchup than the Sixers will. And the Sixers will then have home court in the NBA Finals against whoever they play.
Tim Bontemps on KJ and Max. After that game and also on ESPN TV tonight, the Nuggets and Suns. Jamal Murray questionable for Phoenix with a non-COVID illness. Bucks guard Drew Holiday is the NBA's Teammate of the Year for the second year in a row and for the third time in the last 4 years. Former St. John's basketball coach Mike Anderson is suing the school for almost $46 million. Anderson says the school fired him for fictitious problems so it could avoid paying his buyout and use that money for Rick Pitino.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you anywhere on your device. You can watch us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. You can join us in the chat on this Threadbare Thursday.
We've got topics coming up, including the Jacksonville Jaguars might be houseless. Apparently can't say homeless anymore. So houseless. Don't ask me what the difference between those two things is.
They're housing deficient.
They lack a place to call their own.
Indeed. That could be an interesting wrinkle in the forthcoming years.
And there's allegedly a plan, but we'll talk about that the next segment. In this one, we have to talk about he who doth have unibrow.
Oh, yes, Anthony Davis. Last night, the Los Angeles Lakers losing 121-106 to the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals, a game that the Golden State Warriors, they controlled the entire second half of that game, out-rebounding the Lakers.
It was never really in doubt.
No. They controlled it, and Anthony Davis in the middle of the fourth quarter took an elbow to the head.
Him's got a boo-boo.
He did. We always have made fun of Anthony Davis and his lack of ability to stay on the court.
Well, that's because he's soft as the contents of a newborn's diaper. I don't really know what you want me to say.
Right. You have long said Anthony Davis gets a hangnail and misses the game.
Bruised. I'll never forget he once bruised his eyebrow in a layup line and missed 2 games. I have never seen a softer grown man in my life.
Right.
But it's not even he sat down. All right. Game's out of reach. It's okay. I get it. Him's got a boo-boo and he feels the urge to not go back in the game. I'm not even going to hammer you for that. When the wheelchair shows up and Hims has a headache, and you get in it and go to the back. You're really just confirming what it is that I've always said about you. You're not a superstar. You're one of the most talented players in this league, and it's not even debatable. If you count on him, he will let you down. Outside of 2 years in New Orleans, he's never missed less than 15 games in a season. Never. This is what he does. Do you know the most games he's ever played with the Lakers?
47.
62. Once. 62, 56, 40, 36.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, you're a real superstar. And the reason that I want to talk about this, A, is to make just a slew of jokes. Somebody, I don't remember if it's you or Brian Hall, somebody asked me, what would have to happen to me for me to get into a wheelchair?
That was me.
So I hear your question, and I'm going to answer it with a yarn. I, on the day of the butt fumble, stepped on a roofing nail. All right, I just had I've told the story on the show before, worst day of my life. Jets, butt fumble happens. I go outside to angrily have a heater, and I stepped in the yard, and I looked down, and I see the tip of a nail in the top of my foot, and it has gone all the way through it. I don't know if you've ever done that. We'll say it hurts a bit.
It does.
That smarts just a hair.
It does.
I walked all the way into an ER because I hadn't had a tetanus shot since, when was Reagan president? Like, it was sometime in there. And so
Were you even born during the Reagan administration?
Of course I was. Like all the greatest things in the world, I was born in the Reagan administration. So I walked all the way into the ER, refused to park in the emergency spot because that's for people that are having an emergency.
Right.
I walked from the parking lot all the way to the ER. They brought me a wheelchair because, frankly, by this time, there was a lot of blood. And I went, there is nothing that you can do to get me into that chair because I am an able-bodied man, and I will walk this off.
And that is how every able-bodied competitor would treat that scenario. On the post-game show on TNT, they were playing the highlights from the game. And when Ernie Johnson did the line in the script about Anthony Davis having to take a wheelchair or taking the wheelchair from the tunnel to the locker room, you heard crumbling paper off screen. Then when they came back, you didn't really know what was happening, but you knew there was some uneasiness on the set because Ernie had this look like you guys are really starting to tread into that wheels, the wheels are coming off of this thing between Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, and then Kenny Smith starts making references, poking them to keep them laughing because they're all laughing at soft-ass Anthony Davis taking a wheelchair. Because imagine this. Imagine Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA playoffs back in his heyday with the Lakers. He gets, just floored. He gets undercut by somebody, and big 6 foot, or 7'2", or however tall he is, lands on his head. And they go, dude, you've got a concussion. And they bring him a wheelchair. You would have seen that thing fly across the arena like Bobby Knight. Get that away from me. I don't need it.
Yes.
However, you look at soft old Anthony Davis, and he goes, okay, I'll sit in the wheelchair.
Thank you for bringing me that. Frankly, can I just drive this around all the time?
Right.
Because this makes walking much more comfortable.
How Anthony Davis doesn't have the self-awareness to look at these guys and go, I'm not sitting in that.
Can I ask you a question, just in theory? So we've got a lot of fans that are New Orleans Saints fans that are from the Louisiana area, and a lot of those guys are also Pelicans fans.
Okay.
You ever met one person that's sad he's not a Pelican? One, ever. You ever met one?
No,
because they knew exactly what it was. Zion, who never plays, Brandon Ingram, who couldn't defend the chair I'm sitting in. That's fine. We're much better this way. I am much happier this way.
It'll be the same with Zion. It'll be the exact same thing because Zion's doing the exact thing that Anthony did.
Yeah, but I actually think he has legit, I actually think there's legit ailment here.
Well, I mean, there was legit ailment with Anthony.
Yeah, he had a hangnail. Yeah, he had a hangnail.
No, he was legit hurt.
I think one time he sprained his earlobe. I don't know how you do that. That was a new one.
No, come on. He was legit hurt at the beginning of that last year.
One time he flipped his eyelid. Have you ever done that? You flip your eyelid and then you just can't get it go back down.
Freaky. It's
yeah. He did that one time. He was out for like a month.
Right.
I mean, it really mental health thing.
But at the
he
end,
needed that.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Anthony Davis, and so my best friend on the planet is a huge NBA fan. All right, best man in my wedding. We're getting married a week from Saturday, so obviously he and I have been in a lot of touch over the last few days. So we were talking earlier, and he said, "You better hope Golden State pulls this out because that Laker team should really scare you about your Nuggets." You know what my response was? Nikola Jokic will do things to Anthony Davis in a 7-game series that would probably put a common person on in jail, because he will eviscerate him in a way that I am not sure we have ever seen the likes of. So I just, I was curious. I went back to see what has Nikola looked like against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 8 games, his plus-minus has been negative one time. Do you know what the commonality of, or what the difference in that one game and all the other 7 are?
Jamal Murray didn't play.
It's the one that Anthony Davis didn't play. It's the one that Anthony Davis didn't play. So, maybe, and people know that I've hopped on the Nuggets bandwagon, because I'd be lying if I said I really cared about the NBA that much. I don't. I like to wager it, not necessarily watch it. I love Nikola Jokic because that, to me, is a player that I can get behind. There are a lot of these guys. Joel Embiid. 7 games of Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, in. For me, that's appointment television. It's about as good as the NBA is going to give you at this point, because those are 2 fun guys to watch play. And Joel Embiid has more physical ailments than you could count. Still plays. Plays more than Anthony Davis. So for those 2, I'm in. Can you construct me another finals matchup that you would even vaguely care about?
No.
Lakers Celtics, do you care at all? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't.
I do.
I don't. I think it would be eye broccoli to watch. I think it would be horrendous to watch, to be really honest with you. Sixers Lakers is a little better if I knew I was going to get Anthony Davis in every game. I feel almost certain that I'm not going to. Or he'll have one of those, oh, my hair hurts, and down he goes. So, and this is just maybe I'm a little biased. I'm not going to tell you I'm not. If I was the NBA, I would be rooting as hard as humanly possible for a Sixers-Nuggets final. That will be 7 games of electric buildings that will show really nicely on television. And I got news for you. The NFL has pilfered all of your inventory, except your conference finals and your NBA finals. And it's really hard for me to get behind Anthony Davis, who may or may not play, LeBron James, who's 38 years old, and he's still fine. I don't think anybody with an IQ above salad dressing thinks he's a top 8 player in this league at this point, because he's not. He's a decent facilitator. He can score from time to time, but the game is he's on the 18th hole here. To me, there's not a lot of intrigue here. Even Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Is that fun to watch?
I think it is.
I don't. I don't really find it entertaining at all. Because it's 2 dudes while 3 other guys just stare at them. Because they're like, if you throw me that ball, I'm either going to bounce it off my foot or I'm going to make a horrendous attempt at that basket, because you're the only 2 on this team that can score. And that just seems to be a commonality with a lot of these things. Phoenix is I watched a lot of Game 5 because watching Denver do that to Kevin Durant did a lot for my heart. I was watching some of these players that Phoenix was putting on the court going, you don't belong in the NBA, let alone playing in a playoff series. You don't deserve the jersey you're wearing. And then that got in my head, and I've started thinking about this as we've gone down the rabbit hole. You know, we talked about super teams for all these years with the NBA and how all these superstars were going together. How many of these teams legitimately have more than two guys that really move a needle at all? Phoenix has two.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Nuggets have two. They have two that are, I'm not going to say they move the needle, but they're close.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon can be a superstar on any given night, and so can Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr.
But they're not.
The Warriors have Steph and Clay has got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lakers have AD and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me D'Angelo Russell. He gives up every bit as many points as he scores.
Right.
And you get Philadelphia that's got Tobias is close, Harden and Embiid,
Mm-hmm.
Tatum and Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Butler and Adebayo,
Mm-hmm.
Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson.
Ooh. Those names don't sound like they belong.
They do. By the way, Colin Cowherd going off about the Knicks need to move off Julius Randle. They need more guys that can score, so maybe let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. It didn't work for a night. We need more guys that can score, not fewer.
I mean, Colin's also hot on Jaylen Brown. Boston needs to tap out on Jaylen Brown, too.
I don't even, genuinely, I don't even love the NBA. And we've had several people say stick to football. Well, I mean, here's the thing. The schedule's not in our hand yet, so we can only, okay? I can only hypothesize about what the schedule's going to look like for so long. I look at the NBA now and go, there's two dudes on every team.
Mm-hmm.
It's whose two dudes are the best.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what two dudes sell? To me, is the point. You said the NBA better be hoping for the Denver Nuggets to be in the Western Conference Finals, and I don't think you could be more wrong about anything.
Well,
I think
the Suns are eyebrow.
No, I think they're looking at this Lakers-Warriors series going, we want one of those two.
They're going to have one of those two.
To quote-unquote sell, we need to have – no, I mean in the NBA Finals.
Oh, I'll go ahead and tell you.
They don't want Denver going because that doesn't sell because they're not sexy.
Well, none of this is going to sell. I mean, I hate to break it to you. None of it's going to sell. None of this is doing over a 5.
LeBron going for another title against the Celtics would sell better than the Denver Nuggets and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And I'm not 100% sure I agree with you.
Okay.
There is a lot of LeBron fatigue. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think about it this way. Have you noticed that this league went absolutely, ratings-wise, has gone in the toilet since he's been in L.A.? There's a reason for that. Because now, literally, you can't get away from it. Because you have the biggest name on the most marketable franchise, and it's just shoved down your throat, in spite of the fact that it's impossible to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely hard to watch at times. Now, when Anthony Davis is fine, more power to you. It's at least pseudo-palatable. He's off the floor.
As much as he is the statistical hero of the NBA, Nikola Jokic, I don't think he's broken. He hasn't broken through as a superstar, despite the fact that he should have 3 straight MVPs. Do you think so? Do you think that that NBA fans have embraced him as the elite of the elite?
I think you're doing that. Here's the best way I can say this. I think you're doing that thing that most fans do of what will the average fan watch.
Mm-hmm.
The average fan doesn't watch it anyway. It doesn't matter. We've gone down this rabbit hole. We've tried it with LeBron. We've tried it with, but they're not going to. They're not going. That's the point. You want something that this is like baseball. All right, you lost me so long ago. Don't even take what's going to get me into account because it doesn't exist. You can put fireworks in the outfield. I ain't watching it ever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about me. The NBA's in the same spot. You literally can watch our YouTube chat when we talk about the NBA of all these people going, can't watch it, won't watch it, absolutely refuse. They're dead to you forever. Stop trying to get that guy. That guy's dead to you. Put a product that gets the fringe guy, which I would say I am still a fringe NBA guy. You can get me on a given night. Obviously, I like the Nuggets because I like Jokic because that's a more modern version of basketball. I will watch that. I think a lot of other people will too. If you get Embiid, Jokic. You give me another retread of Boston Celtics, LA Lakers, I have to wash my hair or paint my house or hit myself in the head with a wiffle ball bat. I won't watch 1 second of it. I think a lot of people feel the same way I do.
Okay. All right, maybe so. Tonight, the series could come to an end. The 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Philly leading the series 3-2. Game 6 tonight at 7:30. Also, Game 6 over in the Western Conference semifinals. Denver Nuggets at the Phoenix Suns, 10 o'clock this evening. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Back to football next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow in 240 westbound between Brevard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound is crawling between I-40 and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. 40 eastbound slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sardis Road northbound stop and go between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Smoky Park Highway southbound approaching Sand Hill Road from the Inca area, traffic is stop and go. On Brevard Road southbound, traffic is stop and go between I-26 to approaching the Bent Creek area. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Tunnel Road in Swannanoa westbound near Porter's Cove Road, an accident. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a Threadbare Thursday. You got a topic suggestion, throw that into the YouTube comments, just like Victor Shelton did.
I'm your huckleberry.
Victor Shelton says, so the Jacksonville Jaguars aren't going to have a home for 2 years? Well, yeah, according to the story today, that is quite the possibility. Looks like the inevitability at this point. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, the ownership there, Shad Khan and company, they want to make sure, apparently, that that they stay in Jacksonville. And in order to do that, they're going to have to undergo major renovations at TIAA Bank Stadium that could displace the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2 full seasons. The mayor of Jacksonville, Lenny Curry, was on 1010XL in Jacksonville and said that in the years 2025 and 2026, the stadium will be undergoing renovations, or at least that's the plan, and that during those 2 seasons, the Jacksonville Jaguars will have to find somewhere else to play. So first off, this is going to be a major overhaul of that Jacksonville stadium.
I can't imagine what a stadium overhaul looks like that takes 2 years.
I mean, you gut it. You leave up the walls, and then everything else gets replaced.
I mean, that's what happens when you allow mullets and jorts to overtake your stadium and you put a pool in it. It's basically like a Walmart with a 100-yard football field in it.
Right. So maybe this is this coming season is a little practice run for Jacksonville, staying over in London for 2 weeks.
Well, the report that's out today is that they would split their time between London. So from the way I read it, it sounded like they would be the host of all of the England games for 2 years. So they would be the home team in Wembley for all of those games.
Wow. 5 games?
Oh, no, there's only 3 because the other 2 were in Germany.
Oh, that's right. So 3 games.
So they would get 3 there, and then they would get 5 home games one of these 2 years and 6 the other, and they would play those in Orlando.
Okay, so at Camping World Stadium.
Yeah. So do you realize how far Orlando is away from Jacksonville?
It's 2 hours.
Roughly 2.5 hours. It would basically be like the Carolina Panthers saying that they were going to play their home games at McCormick Field.
It's not that far. It's 141 miles away.
Well, I mean, not all of us drive like you do there, Mario Andretti.
I mean, you do 70, you're going to make it in 2 hours.
It's not all interstate. I did Google
From Jacksonville
this.
to Orlando?
I did Google this. Google even says it takes 2 hours and 27 minutes. So,
well, Google also.
I know, and you're one of those. Oh, it said I can do it in 2:25. I promise.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. I've ridden with you.
That's right.
That's quite a ways, though.
Yeah, I mean it's a 2-hour drive to Orlando, to call it 2.5 hours on a bus. Just throw in traffic, 3 hours. Okay. They also could play at the Swamp. They could play in Gainesville. They could play in Tallahassee. That'd be a hell of a drive, but
yeah, that's almost too labor intensive. There's some headaches with Tallahassee. I can't tell you about Florida.
The only place that they could play if they wanted to stay in Jacksonville would be at the campus of the University of North Florida. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's out. We're going to Camping World, and yeah, London makes a lot of sense for some of those weeks.
Well, I mean, and the thing I'm looking at here is, all right, so when you're talking about doing this, you're going to be right on the end of the rookie deal for Trevor Lawrence. This team's probably going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to displace him for 2 years. The same thing I said about playing 2 London games yesterday. Man, you just don't want to be a consistent franchise, do you?
I mean,
look, I understand they need renovations to the stadium. I cannot remember a team ever taking 2 years.
Yeah,
I know the Bears did it 1 year, and I don't even remember where they played.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to renovate Soldier Field for a year. But 2? That's just, to me, that's borderline insane.
On the selfish notion here, or the selfish side of this topic, is that, hey, maybe finally we could go back to having home-and-home games for the world's greatest cocktail party.
That's a report that's out today.
They've already talked about doing that. It's already in the discussions without all of this Jacksonville not going to have a stadium business.
Can I say something that's not popular?
Okay.
It is absolutely asinine that you do not play these games on your own campuses.
I mean, I agree, but it's tradition, and traditions are hard to kill.
And many traditions are stupid, and this one is.
Traditions are hard to kill, and that one's been going for a long, long time.
You're the only high-end rivalry like that, other than the Army-Navy game, that doesn't play these games on your own campus.
Mm-hmm.
And selfishly, I'm saying this as a lifelong Florida State fan. If somebody came to Florida and Florida State and said, you know what? From now on, we're going to play this game in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, you wouldn't get that out of your mouth before we all started laughing. Like, no.
Well, no, you wouldn't play it in another state.
Well, Georgia's playing it in another state.
If they played
Georgia and Florida are not in the same state. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, but they're
breaking news.
But it's the Florida-Georgia line, not the horrible country band.
They were not horrible.
It's right. Great. It's right on the border, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I got it. It doesn't make any sense. It's never made any sense to me. And frankly, I hope this 2-year hiatus is enough for you to go, oh yeah, let's do it this way. Mm-hmm. It's way more fun this way.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see it, but yeah, Jacksonville could not have a home in 2 years, and it's very interesting to think. Could the Jacksonville Jaguars be an actual Super Bowl / deep run in the playoffs contender in 2 to 3 years? Yes.
They could.
They could be.
And that leads into another discussion. We got to take a quick break. Got to do weird. Got a super chat from Stephen Tao, and then we'll get into that.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend, with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow in 240 westbound between Brevard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound is crawling between I-40 and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. 40 eastbound slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sardis Road northbound stop and go between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Smoky Park Highway southbound approaching Sand Hill Road from the Inca area. Traffic is stop and go. On Brevard Road southbound, traffic is stop and go between I-26 to approaching the Bent Creek area. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Billmore Forest and Overlook Road. Tunnel Road in Swannanoa westbound near Porter's Cove Road, an accident. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you've earned, doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better," unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, today's weird story comes to us from the sleepy little town of Perry, Nebraska. I don't know
I'm
what.
telling you, it will never cease to amaze me that we do not talk about these stories beforehand. Mine's from Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Does yours have something to do with an animal?
Yeah.
It never fails. It's never the same story, but it always has the same tenor to it.
Exactly. It's very strange how that happens. Anyway, in the sleepy little town of Perry, I keep saying that because I've never heard of Perry, Nebraska, and it's very tiny. On the map near the border of Kansas, Ramona Rouston. She didn't have a great day where she was apparently attacked by an animal that is said to be terrorizing the town of Perry. This woman says the animal jumped up and bit her, then went to the neighbor's house and held the neighbor hostage inside her car. It was so menacing that she could not leave her car. Now, we'll play the fun game of guess the animal.
Dog.
Nope. Dog would make way more sense.
Is it any form of dog?
No.
Oh. It was my best chance to be right, because to me, basically everything with 4 legs and fangs is a dog.
It's a rabbit. It's a rabbit. Apparently, this town is being terrorized by an aggressive rabbit. Yes.
What does an aggressive rabbit look like?
Well, I mean, it's a rabbit that instead of hopping away as soon as it sees you, it apparently attacks you. So it jumps up and it bites this one woman, and it goes over to the neighbor's house. And I just can't imagine being in a situation where I'm in my car and there's a little bunny rabbit right outside my driver's side window. And I go, I can't get out. This bunny rabbit's just staring at me. Can't figure that out.
Upwards of 4 people a year are killed in bunny attacks.
For the life of me. 13-year-old girl apparently was also bitten by the same rabbit, Perry police say. Now, the 13-year-old was taken to get rabies shots because that's what you would be concerned about. A normally skittish animal that is aggressive towards humans, you would think there's something wrong with the animal. Maybe it has rabies. So the 13-year-old is taken to the hospital or taken to the local, ER or whatever, gets rabies shots. The woman who was bitten in this case, she's a nurse, and she says she's not worried about rabies because she didn't see it frothing at the mouth, so she doesn't see any reason to get the rabies shots. So I would think that if you're concerned about this animal having rabies, you would have it tested, right?
Well, there's only one way to test it.
Exactly.
It doesn't end well for the bunny.
Police catch the alleged aggressive rabbit. They took it to a local wastewater treatment plant.
Oh, I think I see where this is headed.
And they let it go!
Oh.
They you're free, bunny, out here near the wastewater treatment plant. It just doesn't make sense to me.
So what you're telling me, and this is where I thought this was going, we've had Cocaine Bear, now we have Meth Gator. And now we've got Pooh Bunny. Awesome. My story is from Enid, Oklahoma.
Enid.
70 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Police were dispatched to a residence because people in the surrounding area heard the screaming of a woman. Police respond. There's a now viral video that was shared of police responding. They walk around the residence. They do not find a woman. As a matter of fact, they don't find a person of any kind. They thought possibly, as it was a farm, so they thought, we're going to find maybe a person trapped under some farm equipment. Maybe the bunny has cornered somebody here in Enid, Oklahoma.
Hopped on down to Oklahoma.
They go all around the place. They find no person. But then, as the video keeps going, you start hearing this noise in the background, and it sounds like a screaming woman. One of the officers said to the other, "That's a person," as they start going in to find where the source of the noise is. Would you like to take a guess of what the noise was?
It was Sasquatch.
It was not Sasquatch.
I mean, he does that.
It was also not Anthony Davis, although I do believe that he probably does make a sound that could be confused for a crying woman.
They say that Sasquatch makes those noises.
That was funny. Okay, I got to swear, that was funny. Tank didn't laugh, and I take that as a personal slight. It was a goat. It was a goat. The owner of this farm had 2 goats that he kept in a barn. Apparently, he removed one of the goats, and the other goat was none too happy about it. And an angry goat apparently sounds like a crying woman. And that is the thing that I did not know. I did know that they could scream, which there are videos online that are
hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. If you've never heard Living on a Prayer sung by screaming goats, hilarious. I also knew they could faint. There is a breed of goat that if you scare it, it just completely bloop, falls out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told this story is not to be confused with another story that happened recently of where people heard the sound of a bleeding goat and they couldn't find the goat, and then they realized it was just a man listening to a Fleetwood Mac album. Oh, I told him I was going to make him mad. Let's go. Let's go.
You stop the Stevie Nicks slander right now.
Lance Lang.
All right, let's get to our super chat here from Stephen Tao.
I'm your huckleberry.
He says the Chargers Twitter posted their opponents this year as what Pop-Tart they are. Very funny stuff. You should check it out. And yes, they did. Everybody likes to, all these social media teams for teams like to, use their creativity, so to speak, to try to see if they can go viral, and apparently it worked for Stephen Tao on this one. So the Chargers are going with Pop-Tart flavors that their opponents would be. The Baltimore Ravens pick a flavor. What if you make any flavor of Pop-Tart? What would the Baltimore Ravens be?
Old Bay seasoning.
Old Bay seasoning. You got that one correct. Ooh, this is a fun game. Let's see if Jeremy can guess them all. Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. I don't know what crime tastes like.
Nor is Beetlejuice a flavor.
Let's see. Chicago deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza. That's another one. Where's the bill? There we go. Let's bring
I did not pull these up. I actually had to ask Tank what the super chat meant. That was the delay in getting to it.
The Detroit Lions.
Oh, boy. Flint, Michigan tap water.
Oh, I like that better than what they actually made it. But no, it was Motor Oil. Motor City.
I think I should still get credit for that
because
it's pretty close.
Because yours was better.
I mean, they're both flammable.
Yeah, 100%. My favorite, I believe, is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, boy. I have so many here, and I don't know that I can say any of them. I'm going strip club ashtray. Yes!
Wow.
Yes!
Filthy ashtray.
Oh, no, I can't take credit for that, because to me it was more that was ashtray was the only thing from that entity that I could say. So I can't take credit for that.
Well, you should. You should, because that was
that was an accidental win. Patrick Holt 100% was in the comments. He said exactly what I was going to say.
This is a weird one. The Denver Broncos.
Pop brownies.
See, I want to ring the bell because that's better than what they came up with, because I don't really understand this. But it's cream corn flavored for Russell Wilson. I'm not getting it.
I don't get that.
I don't get the cream corn reference there.
What is Denver really known for its corn crop?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I would have understood like marijuana flavored or
glue.
Oh, that would have gotten PETA all wrapped up.
Let's ride.
The Dallas Cowboys is pretty funny as well.
The VHS tape, because their last Super Bowl would have been on a VHS
just
tape.
Bangers here. No, it's not
Here's
VHS
the thing.
tape.
This is what Jeremy is made to do. I was a stand-up comedian for a long time.
It's denim.
That's pretty good.
Denim flavored for the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, mullets don't have a flavor. So Patrick Holt, by the way, is I can't repeat any of these, but they're all phenomenal.
The other two on this list worth mentioning, I mean, there was also the New York Jets. They compared that to swamp flavored. It's weird.
No.
They also posted a picture of Justin Jefferson with 2 Pop-Tarts. Looks like strawberry flavored, possibly blueberry flavored, with just a pound of raw meat in the middle. I don't get that either.
One of these social media teams needs to hire me. Now, you need to understand, I can be deemed wildly offensive.
Taking shots at opposing quarterbacks with these last two, though, that we'll bring to you. The New England Patriots. They posted a picture of Mac Jones.
Melba toast.
That's very good, but no, this is an actual
Oatmeal.
flavor of Pop-Tart vanilla milkshake.
Oh yeah, we're in the same territory.
And the final one, Ryan Tannehill was the poster child for the Tennessee Titans.
Shredded mini wheats.
Ooh, it's so close. It's actually the unfrosted blueberry, which should not be used for coasters for your coffee.
Oh yeah, that's what it should have been. What is that? What is the thing that looks like a toast, a coaster?
A rice cake.
Rice cake. Yeah, that's exactly what Ryan Tannehill should be. Because he is just flavorless.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Yeah, hats off to the Chargers Twitter team for coming up with those. Some of them were funny. Others we didn't get. But that's like mini jokes. They're not all going to land. But at least if you got a chuckle out of a couple of them, it was a success.
Frankly, every time I ever did stand-up, if somebody didn't threaten to shoot me, I considered that was a win.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Threadbare Thursday continues. Get your topics of suggestion or your suggested topics into the comment section on YouTube.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound near Malfunction Junction, 26 eastbound crawling in pockets between I-40 and Airport Road. 26 on the westbound side slowing between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound is slow between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side, slow between Fines Creek Road and US 276. Brevard Road north and southbound between I-26 and Sardis Road, very busy due to an accident. Sardis Road northbound is slow between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Biltmore Forest area and Overlook Road. An accident Tunnel Road westbound at Porter's Cove Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you've earned, doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is everyday.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Great, it's yours. See you then.
Nathan's Tiki-themed bar is swimming in end-of-year party bookings.
Where can I find that many servers? They want headlamps? And I'm gonna need to find a band.
He needs caterers to navigate the rising tide.
No, Mario, not your cousin's cover band.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, live in the Ingles studio, and a couple more leaks coming out about the NFL season, a couple more primetime games being leaked out. In Week 8 of Monday Night Football, it's going to be a showdown between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions in Detroit.
Woo.
Yeah. Week 9, the next week on Monday Night Football, could be a good one for Jeremy as the Los Angeles Chargers make the trip to New York, or New Jersey, to take on the New York Jets.
I'd bet it.
Monday Night Football.
I'll bet them all.
The Monday Night Football schedule is not horrible.
Well, I mean,
you do have the Las Vegas Raiders in 2 Monday Night Football games. If all is true that we've been told so far today, you have them on there twice in the first 4 of the first 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not. But
we'll see.
I mean, here's the thing. We'll know in just mere hours.
That's right. Tonight, the official schedule release for the 2023 NFL season.
And tomorrow,
at 8 o'clock.
And tomorrow, for those of you that want us to just stick to football, we got 3 hours of, lightly, commercial football.
From the Giants schedule release that was pushed out earlier today, this is according to Warren Sharp, at Sharp Football on Twitter. He says, official, the Giants are the first team to be forced to play on the road 7 times in the first 10 weeks of the season since the NFL reinstated bye weeks in 1990. 7 road games in the first 10 weeks. That's rough.
That's brutal. If it's true, it's brutal. Here's the thing. I'm still not 100% sure that it's true. And this is where I fall into this. All right. Have you noticed that all of these leaks come from Dov Kleeman or some random beat reporter. No Adam Schefter. No Ian Rappaport. I mean, and I understand they work for the NFL, so there's probably some kind of, you won't release this. But nothing. Yeah. It's all coming from basically guys like us.
Week 3, this just coming out. Sources say Week 3's Monday Night Football game will feature the Philadelphia Eagles on the road against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ugh. Yeah, let's start out the season just getting beat down on Monday Night Football.
That's just tears. Just unabashed tears.
Sadness. Don't want to watch it.
That does bring up a good point, though, that our kickoff of fantasy football, that's going to be coming next week. Armchair and I are going to be going into our own forms of the darkness to put out our rankings and get all of our things compiled for the Mullet Man and the Canadians draft kit for the 2023 season. That you'll be able to have that for your own, and we'll explain to you how you can do that next week. And I think you're going to like it. It's Tank and I've been conspiring. We've brought in some friends. Our charity contest this year is, let's say it's going to be bigger than ever, and it's going to rope in this show and the YouTube and some live stuff. And a big prize for one winner, and it doesn't matter if you're any good at fantasy football or not. That doesn't matter.
Interesting. It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, awaiting the full release of the NFL schedule tonight at 8 o'clock.
West Virginia Willie, one of our resident New York Giant fans, said that he'll believe that when he sees a fish drown. And I'm pretty much right there with you.
He believes what?
That the Giants will have 7 of their first 10 games on the road.
Oh.
I almost can't believe that the NFL would do that to a team. That's borderline impossible for me to believe.
It would be tough,
that's the problem. I fall into this with every one of these leaked schedules. Okay, I'm not telling you you're wrong, but you're giving me something that's never happened before in NFL history. The Green Bay one earlier. 3 standalone games in a row. Name me the last time you saw a team do that. Oh, you don't see them do that. You don't see them do that because between YouTube TV that has Sunday Ticket. Okay, so you're going to take one team completely away from us for almost a month? No, I don't tend to believe that. I don't think, frankly, and I could, maybe I'm dying on this hill. I don't think any of this is accurate.
None of it.
If it's not from the league, I don't believe it. Straight up. We did this last year. And I think I said this yesterday. I had the Jets' full schedule in my hand last year. Do you know how many of those games were accurate? 0. Not the order, not the times, none of it.
None of it.
And I won't be shocked if this is the same way.
Yeah. Well, I've got the running list. I'll be able to compare, and we will have that as a topic tomorrow if that does shape up to be. I hope that there's a lot of untruths about this. The Green Bay Packers having 5, count them 6, counting Thanksgiving, 6 primetime games is just absolutely ridiculous with no more Aaron Rodgers there. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. SportsCenter updates coming up next. Then it'll be time for the daily draft where, why not? Let's do best Pop-Tart flavors. I like it. All of them are better with butter, though.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound near Malfunction Junction. 26 eastbound crawling in pockets between I-40 and Airport Road. 26 on the westbound side slowing between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound is slow between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side slow between Fines Creek Road and US 276. Brevard Road north and southbound between I-26 and Sardis Road very busy due to an accident. Sardis Road northbound is slow between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Biltmore Forest area and Overlook Road. An accident Tunnel Road westbound at Porter's Cove Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Maytag month has got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month.
Maytag month is going on.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Like trying to compete, beating them to the spots, actually leaving your feet to contest jumpers, forcing out the catch, denying, being physical, keeping the body on them.
Kendrick Perkins, in this series, Jokic is averaging a triple-double, 35 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. Our Dave McMenamin reports a source close to Anthony Davis believes there's no scenario that would cause Davis to miss Game 6 against the Warriors tomorrow night. Davis got hit in the head by Kevon Looney in Game 5. The NFL schedule will be announced tonight. The Chiefs will unveil their championship banner September 7th against the Lions.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can see us live in the Ingles studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, give us your topic suggestions here on this and every Threadbare Thursday from now until the start of the NFL season.
And just a programming note, I will not be here Thursday and Friday of next week. Amy and I are getting married a week from this Saturday. Need a couple days to make sure everything's right. Got people coming in town. Make sure that you got time. So I will be gone for a few days. Not real sure what the next week's going to look like yet. Just depends on how exhausted we are from the process that is a wedding.
Right. Anybody who's ever gotten married, you know exactly what he's going through. It is one of those times where this is the true test. This is the true test of the relationship to see if it'll last. Now, you've already lasted 5 years.
Correct.
So there's no, there's no like, hey, we've been together for a year and we're trying to get married. And this is when you know, though, because by the end of it, I remember when we got married and me and my wife were not the bestest of friends, I guess, by the time we got married.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say, by the time we said I do, those were the first words we'd spoken to each other in about 36 hours.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times the phrase "I don't care" came out of my mouth.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because I've learned in this process that is never the right answer to anything.
Which is why I told you at the beginning of the process, play like you care. Because I don't care what color / type of flowers is at the reception. It's not going to go over. That goes over like a turd in a punch bowl of just, you got to care. You got to at least fake like you care.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm colorblind. So colors and things like that are not easy for me.
Well, let her decide the colors. But if she asks you,
I've let her decide everything.
Are we going with lilies or begonias? You know.
I don't actually know the difference between those two flowers.
I don't either, but it's lilies. Always lilies.
I remember there was a guy that played for the Jaguars named Jeff Zagonia. I remember. I know that. That's who I am.
There was a guy that came out of Florida in the draft a couple of years ago. Wasn't it? Jabari Zagonia? Wasn't that his name?
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm almost shocked that you remembered that. No, but we're very excited for the wedding. As I said yesterday, a lot of people have asked if we have a registry or anything like that. That will be going on our Facebook. And I can't emphasize this enough. I said it in the chat yesterday. This is me being neurotic. I don't want anybody to think that we're not soliciting anything. I've just had a bunch of you ask, and I feel bad because I'm always the one that answers. And so we wanted to do a blanket here of there is no actual registry, but there is a honey fund for when we actually do finally get to take the honeymoon.
Honey fund.
It's actually a brilliant idea. People can just, there you go, credit card, cash donation, boom.
Like it.
And there's no interest whatsoever. No PayPal, none of that.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, that'll be on the social medias. If you want to contribute to the Newlywed Fund, you are encouraged to do so, or welcome to do so.
Welcome to do
not
so.
Encouraged
not encouraged by
so.
any stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying that anytime that comes up.
Yes. The NFL schedule gets released tonight at 8 o'clock. We have been going through some of the leaks today, talking about potential matchups. Lots of primetime games being thrown out there, what to believe, what not to believe, whatever. Last hour, if you're just joining us, just getting in the car, going home from work, glad you're with us and along for the ride here. But last hour, it was brought to our attention that the Los Angeles Chargers social media team had gone and compared their opponents this upcoming season to Pop-Tart flavors. Some of them were pretty funny. The Dallas Cowboys being labeled the denim-flavored Pop-Tart was good. The Las Vegas Raiders were the filthy ashtray, which Jeremy guessed, and that kind of scares me.
I didn't really I said it's strip club ashtray,
well,
but that's the only...
Nothing how clean good, you think that ashtray is?
Nothing good can come from what I'm going to say here, so we should move on.
So, today's daily draft, why not? Pop-Tart flavors.
You get number one pick.
I get the number one pick.
And for me, there's only one answer.
To me, there are two possible answers here because there are two go-to Pop-Tart flavors for me. But I'll go with the most popular, in my opinion. Flavor is the frosted strawberry.
That's the only answer that there was to be had.
Nah.
If you had said anything else, I would have judged you out loud. That is the Rolls Royce of Pop-Tarts. It's so good that, and I'll be as honest about this as I can be, the unfrosted strawberry is on my list. Ugh. That's how good strawberry is.
No, sir.
Well, no, I don't have to take that one anytime soon.
No, you don't. There will not be an unfrosted anything on my list.
But it's not even really frosting. It's like flavored lacquer that they put on top of a Pop-Tart.
It's baked frosting.
It's a strudel with a little glob of that on it. You said frosting. Have you ever seen a frosting like that? How did you spread that frosting? It's hard as the table that my elbows are leaning on right now.
That's what happens in the baking process.
I've seen a lot of things baked.
These things are pre-baked.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things baked. I've never seen frosting that hard. Okay, so you
typically don't bake things with frosting on it. Just want to throw that out there.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, so there was only one that I wouldn't have outwardly judged you for had you taken it in place of frosted strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the brown sugar.
Of course it is.
It's the brown sugar is phenomenal.
The brown sugar cinnamon is, to me, head and shoulders number one.
Then why'd you not take it number one?
Because frosted strawberry is the most popular, and I do love it. Now, here's the thing. We love butter on Pop-Tarts. On the Saturday show years ago,
friggin' good.
We did this live. We figured, we heard the Family Guy skit.
We also sang the song multiple times.
Yes, and then we had to have butter on Pop-Tarts live on the air, and it changed our lives.
Changed mine forever.
Butter on the frosted strawberry Pop-Tart, there is no other greater delicacy in life. Not so great, in my opinion, on the brown sugar cinnamon. Still good, still improves it, but nothing compared to the frosted strawberry.
It's still phenomenal. My second selection, and I really didn't think about this, it's the frosted wild berry.
Ooh.
That's the closest you get to the strawberry.
Okay.
Because I had a funny feeling where you were going. And there's another one that I like as much. It's just not as common. You don't see it as much.
Can't wait to find out what that is. All right, I got back-to-back picks here.
I also have absolutely no idea what flavors are in the wild berry. It has a raspberry, a strawberry, and a blueberry on the box. I taste none of those flavors in that frosting. So, you don't want to tell me? That's fine. You just keep cranking out those purple Pop-Tarts, and I'll keep eating them.
That's all of them, by the way. It's all the flavors mashed into one.
I guess. It's happiness.
The obligatory snozberry flavored.
And by the way, that's the best one with butter on it.
The wild berry?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Not a great fan. I mean, it's fine,
it's so good.
But it's nothing close to the strawberry. It doesn't come close to the brown sugar cinnamon, and frankly, it's not even in contention for me with just the frosted blueberry. I keep it simple when it comes to my Pop-Tarts.
And this is where I think you may have done yourself an injustice.
Mm-hmm.
I detest blueberry.
Really?
I hate it. Never had a blueberry in my entire life, like the berry itself, and do not like that fake blueberry taste.
Okay.
So you could have saved that one for dead last, and you still got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever even had one of those.
Well,
if I have, it has not been my
Let me
choice.
understand why you wouldn't if you don't like blueberry flavored things.
I got a blueberry flavored bang the other day that somebody just handed me. It's blueberry nectarine.
Mm-hmm.
I was dumbfounded how much I liked it.
Right. Since we're doing this, 15-minute spot for Pop-Tarts here, unpaid.
Although they could pay.
They could.
Advertising at thesportsocracy.com, and any of the rest of you can as well.
If you'd like to. I'm going to do something that you you do expect me to do this. You always expect me to tank up a draft. So at number 3, I'm going to draft a flavor I've never even had before because it's brand spanking new. But it intrigues me such that I must try it immediately. They have just released Apple Jacks flavored Pop-Tarts. I am Speedy Gonzalez to the grocery store. Come on, Ingles. Please have this in stock already.
The savings. That actually in.
Apple Jacks, brand new. There are 2 brand new flavors. One of them, Jeremy has no chance of ever trying. The Apple Jacks is very intriguing to him. He will never, ever, ever even. He will not buy the Apple Jacks flavored if it's sitting next to their other new flavor, which is banana bread.
Oh, no, Seacrest out. Banana anything. I'm out.
So I'm going with the brand new Apple Jacks flavor because honestly, when it comes to Pop-Tarts, like I said, I don't really get down with all of the weird flavors of Pop-Tarts. I'm very simple. It's strawberry, brown sugar cinnamon, blueberry. That's my wheelhouse. Sometimes I'll get a wild berry every now and then, but I won't buy a whole box of them.
So there's at least one that I feel like you're trying to hold out because I'm not a fan of the entity that this is emulating.
Mm-hmm.
S'more is next for me.
Okay.
And I don't like s'mores at all because I'm repulsed by marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
Marshmallow, whipped cream, Seacrest out. Yep. Don't like either one. And frankly, I think it's the same stuff. One of it's in a cream, and one of it is in the villain from Ghostbusters form. And that I don't like either one of them, and they're awful.
I love marshmallows. Not wild about the s'mores flavored Pop-Tarts.
Really?
Yeah. It's something about the chocolate.
See,
and the graham cracker crust It doesn't really hit home to me. Like it, I don't know. I've had it once, and I went, yeah, I'm not.
But
wild
it has
about
to be.
that.
It has to be really hot.
Mm-hmm.
That is one that you can't just take it out of the pantry and nom nom nom. No, that has to be heated aggressively.
Yep.
All right, I've got 2 more on my list. If you take either of these 2 with your last 2 picks, I'm in trouble. The question is, which one do I want more? And for me, it's really not that hard. Cinnamon roll. The frosted cinnamon roll Pop-Tart is out of bounds good.
Okay.
And I would be lying if I said that I had never, in my younger days, maybe gone full Aaron Rodgers and made a sandwich out of 2 cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts with eggs and bacon in the middle.
My next...
And Tank now knows what his breakfast will be on Saturday.
Yeah. My next favorite... I'm going to go with the chocolate fudge. Solid, steady.
It's a little rich for me.
It's just... Well, I mean, all of them are, really. But especially the chocolate ones. So I'm going to go with chocolate fudge. And then I'm tempted by the banana bread because I've never had that either, obviously, with it being a new flavor. But I love bananas. I love ripe. I love green bananas. I love ripe bananas. I like banana flavored things.
The only way I can eat a banana is if it is literally like jet green. The minute it gets a brown spot on it, throw it away. It's gross. It needs to not be in the house anymore. And so now I've just gotten to a point of I can't find them that way, so I'm sick grossed out.
All right, my final one, Snickerdoodle. Did you even know they had a Snickerdoodle flavor?
Maybe I'm showing my ignorance and my arse here.
You don't know what Snickerdoodle is?
I don't know what the hell a Snickerdoodle is. Really? Straight up, I don't know what. I know what Snickers are. I know what a Labradoodle is. And I'm not understanding how those 2 things together are making a Pop-Tart flavor.
This is after the cookie, and there's Snickerdoodle cookies are like cinnamon cookies. So this is
it's
cinnamon flavored Pop-Tart. It's got vanilla in it, and there's a butter flavor to it as well because it's emulating the flavor of the cookie.
What is the cookie?
It's a cinnamon cookie with vanilla.
Then why do they not call it
Then
why do they not call it a cinnamon cookie?
It's called Snickerdoodle. I don't know. I didn't name them.
What is this like? The candy aisle had a love puppy with a Labradoodle?
Snickers candy bar. Nothing to do with that. Snickerdoodle cookies.
Then why does it have an
existed
Snicker in it?
long before Snickers candy bars existed.
Then that name is stupid, and I'm not sure.
I agree. Snickerdoodle. Whoever owns Snickerdoodle cookies should have sued Snickers when it came out.
Or Snickers should sue this stupid fictitious cookie you're talking about for using their name.
Another cinnamon Pop-Tart. It doesn't have the like the brown sugar cinnamon frosting on it. It doesn't have that. It's got like crystallized cinnamon sugar on the outside instead of a frosting. It's pretty good.
All right, so that means it's to me for the last pick?
Yeah, last pick.
It's real easy because you left me the one I wanted. Chocolate chip. It's got the little chocolate swirl on it. Oh, yeah, it tastes like a chocolate chip pancake. By the way, Evan Doyle in our YouTube comments said Pop-Tarts are, he read an article a while back that somehow Pop-Tarts are literally the least nutritious thing available in most grocery stores, yet one of the most popular items in them.
Of course they are.
God bless America.
Absolutely, because it's an easy breakfast. And everybody goes, oh, toaster pastries. Sure, that's got to be a sensible breakfast.
Awful for you.
No, sir. That's why kids like it, because there's nothing healthy about them.
Jonathan Welch said, I swear Jeremy lives under more of a rock than I do. It's not that I live under a rock. I don't like sweet things in large part. So if I'm going to eat a cookie, I'm going to eat a chocolate chip cookie, or I'm going to go full Cookie Monster and just eat cookie dough. Chocolate chip cookie dough. I don't need this fictitious cookie he's talking about.
The Snickerdoodle.
I still think you made that up.
Cinnamon sugar cookie. It's not a big secret.
So is it just a sugar cookie with cinnamon on it?
Kind of with it in the batter and all of that. Just, like a cinnamon sugar cookie.
This is another one of those things where we had to give something a name that didn't need a name.
Again, I think you're having problems with the fact that Snickerdoodle cookies have existed way longer than the actual candy bar. And so you're thinking like if somebody said, "Hey, would you like a Snickerdoodle cookie?" and you go, "Hell yeah, I love Snickers and cookies." No, that's not what this is.
No, here's the thing that's bothering me. I've known what a Snickers bar was since about the time I learned to talk. I have known what a Snickerdoodle was for about 6 minutes. So, and I'm still not 100% sure I know what it is. So, yeah, Snickers older in my mind. And to me, that's all that matters.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 eastbound between 240 and Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound then crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. 40 eastbound slow between Hendersonville Road and 240 Charlotte Highway, and 40 eastbound again slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sardis Road northbound slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow, and Bavard Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road near the North Carolina Arboretum stop and go. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. During Staples Small Business Deal Days, find new deals in-store each week. Plus, rewards members get $30 back in rewards when they spend $100 or more. Rewards offer ends May 13th. Limit 1. Redeemable in-store only. Save big for your business at Staples.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Get your mom an insanely clean home from the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
MOM. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis. For kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
We are back at the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. Follow the Sportsocracy on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy.
Sales guy Will texted me during the break and said the Oreo Pop-Tart is fire. I didn't know that there was an Oreo Pop-Tart.
There is an
I
Oreo
did not know
Pop-Tart.
that. Oreo anything is good.
I have never tried it.
I make an Oreo cheesecake. That is the only dessert that I actually know how to make. And it is just genuinely awful for you. I mean, it's one of those things that's so decadent that you eat a piece of it and then you just walk away and go, that was delicious, but now I kind of want to just crawl in a hole and die. Because I feel awful. But it's so tasty.
Stephen Tao says cookie dough is better than the cookie itself. I disagree.
I like both, honestly. I think they both have a merit. I also make my own cookie dough. What up? The other only dessert I know how to make
is just cookie. Any kind of cookies?
No, I know how to do chocolate chip. To me, that's the only cookie that exists. Your fictitious candy bar puppy dog hybrid cookie, I'm sick-rest out.
Sticker still can't wrap his head around the snickerdoodle idea.
I don't understand why it has a stupid name like that. If it's a cinnamon sugar cookie, call it a cinnamon sugar cookie. Stop naming things that don't need names.
Well, I mean, I could give you the history of it if you'd like, because I did look it up. It's German. It's based in German bakery, where they made, or one of a famous German dessert or pastry is Schnecken, and Schnecken is a sugar cinnamon pastry thing. It looks like a cinnamon roll, basically.
Love cinnamon.
So in the 1800s, somebody started making like Schnecken-flavored cookies, and the Americans got a hold of it, and I don't know, there's like some Yankee Doodle thing in there, I don't know, and we can't say Schnecken, so they said Snicker, and it became Snickerdoodle. Like, it's just one of those things. So, I mean, like I said, it's been around since the early 1900s, or earlier, so way before the Snickers candy bar ever existed. Anyhow, now that we've gone down that little useless nugget of trivia.
You know, it's funny. We plan these shows, we script them out, and then we wind up talking about cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how much weight we lose, we are two fat guys at heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the YouTube comments, we've had several topics thrown out for discussion today. Earlier in the program, first hour of the program, we were talking about coaches on the hot seat to start out the 2023 NFL season. And let's see, West Virginia Willie asked about Ron Rivera. He was not one of the names that we mentioned in our discussions about coaches on the hot seat. He said, is Ron Rivera on the hot seat? I feel like he's been on the hot seat for 2 years.
And I would say not really. At this point, I feel like Ron Rivera is the foremost Washington authority. And all right, so we've talked about how confident he obviously is in Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like that comes with some form of assurance that we're going in with no parachute whatsoever with a rookie, which means, all right, what is the expectation of the year? I mean, what would, and I guess I would answer the question with a question. What would Washington have to do to get him fired this year?
0-6.
I don't agree with
It'd have to be a disastrous start like that.
And I'm not even sure that would get him. I'm not sure that would get him.
Absolutely, because they hired your replacement. Just like the Los Angeles Chargers, the expectations are completely different with the Los Angeles Chargers, but just like Brandon Staley has Kellen Moore breathing down his neck, you don't think Eric Bieniemy is breathing down Ron Rivera's neck?
And that is a very formidable point. I think Washington's an interesting team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they played 9 true road games, and it's ugly.
Tell me this team starts out 0-6 The offense looks good. Sam Howell looks like he's could be a good starter in the league, and everything's moving. They're moving the ball, but they're giving up way too many points. Here you go. You've got head coach who's supposed to be in charge of the defense. That's his job, just like Brandon Staley in Los Angeles. Your defense is giving up way too many points. Say your average finish to games is like 35 to 30 or something like that.
Of which I see no path.
No, I don't either. But I'm saying could be a possibility.
They're a team.
I can see that.
They're a team tonight with a schedule release that I think how things start. I'm just looking at who they're playing. I would, if I'm Washington, I'm hoping to see Arizona early, Chicago early, the Rams, the Falcons, the Broncos. I'm trying to avoid the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to avoid the Eagles, the Cowboys, the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see any of these really elite defenses in the first handful of weeks.
Yeah.
I want to give Sam Howell a couple weeks to get his feet under him and see where this is going to go. I had somebody ask me just since Washington came up,
mm-hmm.
and this is – I'm going to ask this in a fantasy football way, but I don't necessarily mean it that way. Where would you put Terry McLaurin for the upcoming year in terms of receivers in the NFL?
I don't know. I would say somewhere between 15 and 20.
I'm higher than both of those numbers.
Really?
I am. I think I will probably be higher on Terry McLaurin than – I can't say anybody in the industry, but
mm-hmm.
I'm going to be higher than most.
So top 10? Are you going that high?
He's in that beginning of the teens. He was wide receiver 12, I think, last year. And that was with Taylor Heineke. And trust me, I was as shocked as you were.
I mean, he is the focal point in that offense, so it makes a whole lot of sense.
And I think there's a regression with Curtis Samuel and an addition of Jahan Dotson. I really like Terry McLaurin for this year. And I think people will avoid him because of Sam Howell.
One more Monday Night Football leak has come out. Week 2 of Monday Night Football. This will, if all of this is correct, we will now have the first 5 weeks of Monday Night Football games already leaked out. Week 2, the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. So there you go. We got a lot of Panthers fans. We got a lot of Saints fans in the chat. You guys can have fun with that. Week 2, Monday Night Football in Charlotte. Bryce Young against Derek Carr. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up, the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend, with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 eastbound between 240 and Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound then crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. 40 eastbound slow between Hendersonville Road and 240 Charlotte Highway, and 40 eastbound again slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sardis Road northbound slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow, and Bavard Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road near the North Carolina Arboretum, stop and go. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, and today, well, we've been talking about, we always get, or not always, but we get down these little rabbit holes talking about food.
We are a rabbit hole.
That is very true.
Which usually is talking about food.
That is very true. Jeremy, do you have a certain something that you put in a salad to make it better?
Salad dressing.
No, I mean like something most people don't put on salad. Like, do you?
Most people don't put the level of salad dressing on salad.
Do you have to have olives or jalapenos?
If you put olives on anything I'm eating, I reserve the right to punch you very hard. No, I mean I'm
just regular.
I like it to have more tomatoes than most.
Okay, interesting.
That's what really makes it.
We like to put the French fried onions on them. The ones that you put on like top of green bean casserole. We like to put those on top of our salads. Just kind of spices it up a little bit. Well, one woman in Cook County, Tennessee, she had a salad the other day that, well, it tasted kind of weird. She said it tasted really salty, and she wasn't sure why it tasted so salty and where it was just kind of off. She ate the salad, and then later she started to kind of feel bad, and so she went to lay down. Well, she's laying down, and her partner comes in, who had given her the salad, and does a strange thing. He immediately starts apologizing, saying, "I did it. I'm sorry. I did it." And she said, "You did what?" He said, "I'm sorry. I put it in your salad, and I shouldn't have, and I apologize. Are you okay?" And she said, "Well, you put what in my salad?" And he wouldn't tell her. He would not tell her what he put into the salad, to the point where she said, "I think I might need to go to the hospital." And he said, "Well, I mean, do you want me to take you?" But he still wouldn't give it up, what he put in the salad. Well, it turns out that after she went to the hospital, they said, "Hey, let's do a drug screening." What did he put in the salad? It was meth.
Don't do meth.
For some reason, This guy, and his name is Gomer Sanderson. Gomer Sanderson from Cook County, Tennessee, 53 years old, is now facing charges for, yes, putting meth into the salad of his significant other. Of course, police warning that if you put meth in the salad, you could kill someone.
100%.
So don't do meth, and don't make meth salads, because that very well may not go over very well. Now, thankfully, this woman did not have any long-lasting effects from the meth that was in her salad, but Sanderson, now under arrest, has been charged with domestic assault and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, and is now in the Cook County Jail Annex.
Does the name Corey Darden Richens mean anything to you?
No.
She's a 33-year-old woman from Utah, and she wrote a book. It was a very, very popular book, apparently. It's called Are You With Me? All right. It was a children's book about dealing with grief.
Okay.
She has 3 young children, aged 5, 7, and 9. And last year, her husband passed away. Husband passes away. She writes a book. A lot of people buy the book because she is a great authority because she sold real estate. And so she had written this book about dealing with grief. There's one rule that I've found to be very consistent. When you use somebody's full name, usually means they were the perpetrator of crimes. Miss Richens wrote a book about grief and has now been charged in the murder of her husband. Okay. Her husband's name was Eric. He died in March of last year at the age of 39. There was a bit of a suspicious death, but they ruled it a drug overdose. Well, over the course of the last year, they have figured out some things that were a little unsettling. One is that she changed her husband's life insurance to 5 times the amount 3 weeks before he died. I will, and maybe this is because I watch way too much true crime stuff, I will never understand why people think they're going to get away with that.
Yeah.
And HWA she's an insurance. It's very suspicious when you do that. Well, they've gone down the rabbit hole, and they realized that she poisoned him with fentanyl. She was putting in his food. And now, if you had to guess where somebody would obtain fentanyl, where do you think that would be?
On the street somewhere?
Correct.
Yeah. Drug dealers?
Who do you think turned her in?
The drug dealer.
Bingo!
Nice.
Because he got popped for a drug-related offense, and as soon as they arrested him, he said, but wait, I can give you something for a lighter sentence. And he said, and I quote, that Miss Richens had originally asked him for hydrocodone. When that didn't work, she requested, and I quote, the Michael Jackson stuff.
Oh.
And that was the last nail in her coffin. She now has a court date set for May the 19th. And, okay, just it's awful enough that you killed your husband. Then you wrote a book about how I'm so good at dealing with grief. You're a terrible person. Okay. Yikes. I don't like to cast aspersions on somebody before the legal process has unfolded. But, Miss Richens, you are not a good person.
Stop giving people drugs without them knowing about it. It's methed up.
Yes, it is.
This is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. And, we got another one. Schedule leak. Primetime game. Week 9 Sunday Night Football. Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be one to top off a good day of football.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow we will be discussing our predictions with the schedule out. We will also revisit what we did last year, and you will realize that, for this not mattering to some of you, we were awfully accurate.
Lots of talk in the YouTube chat today about strength of schedules. Most recent comment coming from Captain Obvious said the Dolphins have the hardest schedule in the NFL, and I don't think it's really all that close. The preseason strength of schedule rankings, to me, they're always skewed.
Yeah, because right now Tampa Bay looks like a much more tough opponent than they are. I think Minnesota looks like more of a tough opponent than they are.
Well, because they base all of these strength of schedules on how the team finished last year.
Which means it's not. It doesn't mean nothing, but it's not a great indicator.
No.
And there are a few other metrics, some of which we'll talk about tomorrow, where you bring in analytics and strength of roster and strength of improvement and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are better indicators of what a schedule actually looks like. I will tell you straight up, the AFC East schedule is evil. Whoever wins that division, I don't think will win more than 11 games. And whoever that is going to be really difficult to put out of the playoffs.
Or so beat up by the time they get there that they'll be easy to get out of the playoffs.
Historically, that's not the case. There is, I hear that argument a lot about, well, the AFC's conversation I had this past weekend that, why would you bet on anybody winning the Super Bowl other than Philadelphia? Because they're going to sleepwalk through the NFC. Yeah, iron sharpens iron, and there is no empirical evidence whatsoever to prove that a tougher schedule makes you more likely to get bounced early in the playoffs. There is nothing there. It has been researched. It has been dug into. Nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for me, I would say the 6 most likely teams to win the Super Bowl are all out of the AFC. Mainly because, okay, we get to the Super Bowl. You have Jalen Hurts, who I've already said, like him, a good player. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen. They're all better than him. And I don't think I'm being spicy in saying that. They're all better quarterbacks than he is.
I would 100% take Jalen Hurts over Aaron Rodgers, though.
And I think you might be on drugs. One of them has won 2 MVPs in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting one bad year with a bunch of rookies really skew you.
What big game has he won recently, though? That's okay. Where I go back to.
And my argument with Jalen Hurts would be you took the easiest path to the Super Bowl ever. You played a beat-up Giants team, a San Francisco team with no quarterback, and then you lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Aaron would sign up for that right now. Nobody has ever put that in front of me. Can I have that? Because I believe I could win that.
Well, he's not going to get that in the AFC.
No,
that is definitely for sure. But those not to be trusted strength of schedule rankings currently, based on the combined 2022 record of the opponents this year, the Philadelphia Eagles have the hardest schedule, followed by the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Cowboys, and the Giants. The Cowboys and the Giants are both tied for 4th. So those are the 5 hardest schedules in the NFL according to the strength of record, I guess, from last season. The Jets are just outside of that at 6, the Bills at 7. So yes, you have all 4 of the AFC East teams in the top 7 of the hardest schedules in the NFL.
I will say we have a leak that I could actually put some credence to. Week 11, Monday Night Football, a rematch of Super Bowl 57, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Now that will be fun to watch.
And where's that game being played?
That one is in Kansas City.
Okay.
That one is in Kansas City.
Very good. On the flip side of that, the easiest schedules in the NFL this year?
Everyone playing in the NFC South.
Almost everyone playing in the NFC South. The bottom 2 schedules of the year belong to the Atlanta Falcons, who are last, so the easiest. The New Orleans Saints, and then it goes Texans, Colts, Titans, Panthers at 27. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're up there at 22. But I think that's because they get a division winner in their matchup 17th week game.
Well, they get a division winner in all 3 of their games that are not formulated by we play this division. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easy schedule, but I don't want it to be easy because I want Todd Bowles, FIRED,
and Baker Mayfield to no longer be your quarterback.
Still got a lot of offseason left.
17 weeks left.
Hopefully
Can't wait.
Hopefully he'll do crimes, and he won't even be on this team.
No, you don't want anybody to do crimes. I'm actually now the biggest Baker Mayfield fan in the world. Because
I hope Baker Mayfield gets stopped at the border with 700 pounds of whatever. I don't care.
At Sports Tank ESPN.
It could be. I want him to get caught and arrested for trying to smuggle fruit roll-ups into Israel.
I can just say that this week has taught me one thing definitively. I have rubbed off on you over the course of 3 years, and if you don't stop saying things like that, your mom's not going to let us keep hanging out. So,
this is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. We will come back, wrap it up right after this for this exciting schedule release day in the NFL.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 eastbound slow between Bavard Road and Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 eastbound slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Delays Sardis Road northbound between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue north and southbound at W.T. Weaver Boulevard, heavy delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Mom gives life, love, and so much more. Take time to appreciate your mom this Mother's Day with flowers from Stargazers Designs, fresh cut bouquets, plants, and more. Call to order early at 828-254-3621 or visit stargazersfloraldesigns.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Macy's Mother's Day sale. Take an extra 25% off great gifts for every mom with your coupon or Macy's card. Like dresses, shoes, and more she'll love, 25 to 40% off. Or shop specials like 55 to 65% off robes, towels, and more bath accessories. And fragrance gift sets from her favorite brands like Carolina Herrera, Estee Lauder, and more. Give love, give style, now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome. All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
MOM. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Yeah, coming up tomorrow in the Sportsocracy, it's going to be the way too early predictions for the 2023 NFL season. Tonight at 8 o'clock, the schedule drops. I am very looking forward to, I've been keeping my little running list of all of the games that have been announced today. I'm looking very forward to seeing how many of them are real and how many of them are not.
I hope it's none of them.
None of them?
I hope it is literally none of them.
Well, we do know.
The NFL just goes, oh, you think we would actually leak that out of our building? Oh, we put this on Good Morning America and all these other places that we release games, and then you think we're going to send it to Dov Kleeman. See how that didn't make a lot of sense when you said it out loud?
We do know that the season will open up with the Lions and the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. That's the kickoff game. Sunday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. And then Monday Night Football opener will be the Buffalo Bills.
And the 2024 Super Bowl champion, J-E-T-S, Jets.
Also, apparently, the New York Jets will be participating for the first time in 12 years in a Sunday Night Football game.
Which is just insane to think about.
So, yeah, first time since 2011 that they'll be on Sunday Night Football, and that will come, at least their first appearance, possibly more
I'm
to
sure
come.
I would
later
say
this
they're
season.
probably on Monday Night Football at least twice, Sunday Night Football twice,
You're
and they're
all-
probably one of the teams that's on Thursday night twice.
You're down on Monday Night Football Week 1 against the Bills, Week 9 against the Los Angeles Chargers, as being reported. And no Thursday night games so far. We do know the Sunday Night Football game on Week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
I can't wait.
So you can look forward to that. Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, Week 4 on Monday Night Football.
So tomorrow, Tank and I will take the schedule when it comes out tonight. We'll play the same game that we have played every year that we have done this, where we first thought go straight through the schedule. You're not allowed to look at any of the extemporaneous things of, oh, they've lost 3 games in a row. Nope, not allowed to look at that.
Knee-jerk reaction, just here's your week-by-week schedule, pick the winners.
Yep. Last year, we both had the Eagles with 13 or more wins.
Mm-hmm.
And one of us had the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
That was me.
I thought it was.
It was me. I think I had them 16-0. And then I changed it at the end. It was like, they got to be 15-1 or what is 16-1?
There you go.
Yeah, 16-1, whatever.
So it's not just this is not just a space filler. And we'll bring out I went back into the archives and found our projections for last year. And so we'll chat about those for a minute.
Excellent.
Laugh at, man, we were really low in Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we really didn't like Seattle.
What's like 3 wins, something like that, probably?
It was very few for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you added what we said together, I'm not sure you would get to what the 2022 Seattle Seahawks actually put on the field. So it'll be a fun day in our go away show for the weekend, and we just got all kinds of things happening.
It's going to be so much fun tonight. 8 o'clock, the 2023 NFL schedule will drop, and all the prognostications coming your way tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to stay tuned to the Sportsocracy and the not only tomorrow, but in the coming weeks, as we will have more information coming up about our fantasy football. In fact, over the weekend is when we project to have out some of the details about the different tiers that you can get in on this year's fantasy football festivities that will always, as always, benefit Eblin Charities.
We will have the shell of how the game works. It is much more complex. There are many more ways to get in, and there are some ways for you to come have fun with us. And we can't wait to tell you all about it.
Tomorrow at 3, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pop-up thunderstorms in the late week forecast and for this weekend, with the humidity making a comeback in the forecast this weekend. Enjoying another night of lower humidity tonight, though, with mid and low 50s across the valley. 57 in town. Afternoon storm on Friday, high 75 degrees, and slow-moving afternoon thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. High temps near 80, lows near 60. I'm meteorologist Scott Laramore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows approaching Brevard Road and continues in pockets to Airport Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side, light delays between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sardis Road northbound slow between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Biltmore Forest area and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.